Today's episode is all about how to connect with your team better. Before I get started, for those of you that don't know, my name is Yashika Lind. I am the founder and CEO of the Lind Group. Our mission is to create the best, most high performing leaders ever. We work with leaders in healthcare. Actually, we work with leaders all over, but primarily leaders in healthcare. And we also work with healthcare organizations to strategize their operations so that they can decrease their productivity lags. So that's another thing that we do. Welcome to our world. We love to teach. So, today, again, we're going to be talking about how to connect to your team better. If you are new to my world, I don't try to be perfect. I don't memorize. I riff. I write down what I'm riffing and what comes to me. I take notes and then I share them with you, hoping that one day it will help you to become a better leader. Because you don't have to, people are scared to become leaders because they think it's going to lead to burnout and it's going to be stressful. And while 50% of people are feeling like that, there are 50% that are not, even in the same environment. So there's something that these people that are doing it right and not stressed are doing that the others aren't. And I'm teaching you what you're missing so that you can crush leadership. So, today's topic, how to connect with your team better. I want to talk to you about a story, or talk to you about a story, tell you a story about a situation I was in where someone tried to get the job done without connecting to a teammate and what it looks like in the opposite when you are connecting to your team first before trying to get the work done on the team. So, trying to get the work done without connecting versus connecting and then trying to get the work done. Super stressful environment. A teammate comes up to you and they're stressed out about something, even though that has nothing to do with the urgent A, B, and C that's going on right now. We've all been there. It's like, why are you talking about that? We got all this stuff going on. In your head, that's probably what you want to say. So, for some of you, you're going to let the stress and the frustration show. We talked about this in, I talked about how to better communicate in the Facebook group. We just did a training on that. So, side note, I'm all over the place. Side note, if you want to learn how to communicate more effectively, I did like a whole 30-minute in depth training that will teach you exactly what you need to know to learn how to communicate effectively with your team. The same stuff I share with my private clients, with my corporate clients. All you have to do is join the Facebook group to get that training. All right. So, you're trying to connect with your team. Somebody on your team comes in talking about something that is frustrating and getting on their nerves. It could be something personal, it could be something little, but whatever it is, it has nothing to do with the urgency or is relevant to what's going on in the current situation. As one type of leader, and a lot of leaders that I see, they get frustrated and they communicate abruptly. They communicate from the head, right? We got to get A, B, C done. This is going on. You need to do this. You need to do that. This needs to be done. We'll talk about that later. Blah, 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 blah. Very task oriented, very impersonal type of a communication style. I call that communicating from your head. These are the facts. This is what need to get done. Let's get it done. In a life or death situation, totally okay, right? But most of the time, we're not in a life or death situation. It just feels overwhelming and like stress and like pressure. And we forget that to connect to most people, you don't communicate through your head. I call it communicating through your heart. So think about the same situation. There's a coworker, there's somebody that you're leading, they come up to you, they're talking to you about something that don't have nothing to do with what is really going on or urgent or needs to be done right now, or is not, I'm not going to say important, but not important at that time. And filter this frustration and what needs to happen through your heart versus your head. It's going to sound different. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, so the light is out in room 3. All right, let me put that on my list. I'll get to it, but you know what? There's these other things that are going on. So I want you to know I'm not going to forget about it. But right now I have to do A, B, and C, and then I'll make sure to get to that. You said the same thing, right? but you said it in a way that connected to the person versus talking through your head, which is not you giving out wrong information. It's not even you being rude or mean. It's just a different way of communication. And most people don't receive that type of communication unless the situation calls for that communication, which is pretty rare. Um, you can tell somebody, think about it in your personal life. You're up in your head, somebody got on your nerves, they hurt you, they need to shut up, whatever it is. And you just say, you know what, you're getting on my nerves right now. I'm gonna need you to shut up. I'm gonna need you to be quiet, or you're stressing me out. It, it comes through the head. But if you funnel that same message through your heart, you could say, now is not a good time. I feel like I'm overwhelmed right now with what you're saying. And it's not that I'm not listening, it's just that I don't really have the capacity to respond in a mature way. So, can we please take a minute to pause and let's talk about this later? Same situation, same message. One comes from the head, one comes from the heart. So I'm just trying to illustrate what I mean when you come to me and you need help connecting with your team, but you're somebody that is up in facts, up in objectivity, up in talking through your head, instead of taking those same words, that same situation, and pretending like the words are being said through your heart. They're going to be said a lot differently, even though you're saying the same thing. So think about your words as not coming through your head, but coming through your heart. And that will do a world of difference for you to be able to connect with your team in a more effective manner. You are also more likely to gain their know, like, and trust. And I think I talked about that also in that communication class that's in the Facebook group. But if you can't gain the perception of your team that you communicate in a certain way that jives with them, then you're not going to be able to influence them. And leadership is all about influencing people to get behind a goal, a mission, what we need to get done today. So if you want to learn how to influence your team more effectively, you have to ask yourself, how am I connecting with my team? And again, that tip about talking through the heart, speaking through the heart is going to help you out tremendously in order to get the result that you desire, because they're going to start to like you more, and they're going to start to trust you more, and they're going to start to think they know you more because you are speaking and connecting with them on a heart level. Also, in true fashion, you can't connect with your team optimally until you're able to connect with yourself. I'm always going to bring it back to you. There are so many of you that wonder why you have these struggles and this energetic tension within your team, and you think that your personal life, your personal internal turmoil has nothing to do with that. If you don't understand, um, I'm going to say energetics. If you don't understand how energetics works, then you need to study it, and you need to understand that your level of connection with yourself, your level of compassion for yourself are going to directly translate into what you experience in the people and the environments that you encounter out in the world. Do you know yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? And if you can't answer that, or if the answer is no, and it's not a hell yes, it's not a yes, then I promise you that the work that you learn to do on connecting with yourself is going to translate energetically into the way that you connect with your team, and you'll make vast improvements on your connection with your team just by working on your connection with yourself. Now, for some of us, we have teams that are a little bit challenging, or we have to work with personalities and people that are a little bit challenging. And I totally recognize that, because I have purposely taken on a lot of challenging situations in my life, but I've been able to see the dynamics of the teams turn into ones that were productive, efficient, and positive. So part of that is you rising above all of that, because you're the leader, right? And as the leader, you're expected to rise above that and set the tone for how the team moves going forward, even if it hasn't successfully moved forward thus far. It is your job to connect to the people on your team as well as the team. So the team as a whole, and then the team as individuals. and also to perceive and tap into the energy of your whole team versus the energy of the different people on your team. Now, I'm not going to get into that in this discussion because that would be all, it'd be long. However, again, I'm gonna have you, if we get done with this and you want to learn more about how you can communicate effectively in order to connect with the team, take the tip I said between not communicating from the head, but communicating through the heart as number one. But then you need to go and join the Leading in Healthcare Facebook group. It's a private community, totally free. And in there, I give trainings, in depth trainings twice a month. Our last training that I just did was in depth on how to communicate better. And if you feel like you need more work in this area, there is no excuse for you to go over there, take a half an hour of your time with a pen and a piece of paper and write it down, because I tell you exactly what you need to do. And I tell you exactly how you can troubleshoot your team in order to be more effective and more impactful. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. That's your mission. That's your assignment. If you need more, join the Facebook group. Otherwise, I will talk to you next week where we will go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right. Take care.